Hey everybody, it's your girl Kitty Cat and welcome back for another video. A few years ago, I made a video on how to tie a bandana like Tupac's, and it's gotten a lot of love since then. Also got a lot of hate, but whatever. I still get a lot of comments on that video and a lot of comments ask for more Tupac related content. This video is for entertainment purposes only. This is just for fun, so if you can't have fun, you gotta go, okay? Click the X if you can't have fun. But if you want to have a little bit of fun, you want to do, let's do a little storytelling. Let's tell some stories, okay? I think about from time to time, if Tupac were still alive, if Tupac was alive, what would he be like today? It's 2020. He died way back in the 90s. So much has changed in our culture, media, hip hop. There's so much that has changed. What would he be like? Where would he fit in all of that today? So let's find out. If Tupac were still alive, what would he be like? Well, let's get this first one out of the way. Y'all are gonna think, wow, that was so basic, but it's kind of like, I feel like it's reality, right? I feel like it would be pretty accurate. So I think if Tupac was still alive here in 2020, that he would be vegan. The reason I think that is because Tupac was a very spiritual person, and spiritual people are very mindful about what they consume. So I think at this point, I think Tupac also probably would have been vegan maybe like 5 to 7 years ago. I don't think he would have just hopped on like 2 or 3 years ago. I think he would have been ahead of it. I think he would have been ahead of everybody else. I think that Tupac would be very active on social media. I think he would use social media as a tool to share all of his knowledge with us. I definitely think that he would be the type to go on live and just kind of shoot the shit with us and just drop some gems. I think he would be one of those older people that get on live and just start talking about life and where we should be headed, and he would post, videos on his Instagram of what we should be focusing on, what's on his mind, like just asking us questions to reflect. I definitely think that he would be very much like a light worker. When it comes to music, I think after 2011, Tupac would have decided to stop making music. Now, hear me out on this, y'all, okay? Maybe he would still be in the music, obviously he's Tupac, so he would still be helping out the youth, maybe doing a little producing, maybe being in the studio or whatever, but I don't think he would be making his own music. When we look back at entertainers and rappers and singers and things like that from the 90s, how many of them are still putting out music now? And how much of the music that they put out is actually good? If you're a person like Tupac, as successful as he is, you don't want to just put projects out there that are going to tarnish your legacy. I just don't think he would be making music past 2011. I think he would decide to put music to rest, as most older entertainers do. It's hard when you're somebody like Tupac or somebody like Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z or whatever, because they started making music in an era that was completely different to now. So it's like every time that they want to put out a new project, they have to add some element of today. And when you add too much of today, your music will get kind of clouded, and then people are like, no, I want to hear how you were like yesterday. 2011, 2012, we started to see a shift in music. We started to see a lot more EDM influences in our everyday today music. You can hear EDM in all across most genres these days now. So I think that he would have definitely stopped making music after 2011, and if not 2011, not past 2013. I would say 2011 at most, but if we really wanted to stretch it, 2013. But even that seems like, no. So in the last few years of Tupac's life, he was making that transition from music to film, or maybe not even making the transition, but he was just adding that to his resume. I absolutely think that in the 2000s and in the 2010s, we would have seen him in a lot more cinema, a lot more TV shows, and I definitely see Tupac doing more of the dramatic films. I don't really see him doing too much comedy. He would have done a phenomenal job in the dramatic genres. Will Smith and Tupac would have eventually become really good friends. I saw an interview where Will Smith said that he used to be really jealous of Tupac because of Tupac and Jada's friendship. I think Will would have dropped his little beef And I think that Tupac and Will would have been really good friends, and we absolutely would be seeing Tupac on Red Table Talk, okay? Tupac and Biggie, would they become friends again? I pondered this one for a while because I'm like, dang, would they ever become friends again? Like, I don't know. That's really a tough one. But I think eventually, yes. I think it would have taken a long time, but maybe by like 2008, I think they would have kind of, you know, I think they would have come back together. And maybe he would have been on that album in 2011, him and Biggie, okay? I think in like 2017, that Tupac movie, All Eyes on Me, came out. And I absolutely know for sure that if Tupac was still alive, I think that movie would have been a lot better. Hear me out. I don't think the movie was trashed. I won't say that about anything. That's not nice. But I will say Straight Outta Compton had came out like a couple years before that, and it was like such a well done movie. When I went to go see the Tupac movie, I had very high expectations and they just weren't met. At least Tupac's story was told, but I feel like it could have been done better. He would have created more resources for young teens. He would have been a huge advocate for mental health. The conversation about mental health may have even started a little sooner if Tupac was alive, just because he was that influential. In terms of politics, when it came for like Obama's elections back in 2008 and 2012, Tupac would have been all over it. Tupac would have been a huge push, I think, for like presidential elections and like getting young people to get out and vote for sure. Right, and last but not least, let's talk about love, okay? Would Tupac be married? I don't think so. I don't think so. Nah. I don't think Tupac would have been married. However, here's a couple people who I think he would have dated. Tupac would have dated Maya. Whenever I was writing this, I just kept thinking about Maya and like how like beautiful she was. I mean, she still is, but like her music she made back then, and like, you know, I just feel like they would have been a cute vibe together. They would have been cute. Him and Nia Long would have had a thing too. They just come from the same time, the same era. Maybe like Tupac and Taraji. That's pretty much it. Tupac would be thriving. He would still be influential, and I think he would still be making an impact on young people and everyone, really. The sky's the limit. We would have seen way more from him than even what I just described, but those were just a couple things that I was thinking about. Like, oh, maybe I think it would be like this. What do you think Tupac would be like if he was still alive? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.